and welcome or welcome back. Today's reading, we are doing a shadow work reading, meaning we are diving into your subconscious a little bit to get a message from your inner child. As with all of my shadow work readings, this comes with a massive trigger warning. Okay, and I'm not joking when I say trigger warning on my readings, you guys. I feel like people take it kind of lightly when I put those, and then they end up getting really upset with me. And that's fine, right? But sometimes when we're diving into your shadow, when we're diving into your subconscious, we're picking up unhealed wounds, right? And that's what your triggers are. They're kind of like a big, ferocious guard dog protecting the wound. So you kind of need that guard dog there. Sometimes it does protect you. That guard dog, he's being a good boy. He's doing his job and protecting your unhealed wounds, okay? And sometimes it's not always the time to do shadow work. Sometimes it's not always the time to dive in past those triggers and heal those wounds, okay? So in this reading and in all of my shadow work readings, please only watch these readings when you're very called to. So if you were very called to this video, you're not necessarily just binge watching, and you're very drawn to one of the piles in particular, then please go ahead and watch it. But otherwise, don't watch this if you're not called to, okay? There's no point in bringing up anything that's potentially triggering unnecessarily. But anyway, this reading in particular was inspired by me doing a ton of shadow work over the past month. That's what my Saturn return kind of triggered for me, was this big spiritual period, huge crown chakra awakening. But in order for me to receive a lot of the information, I had to clear a lot of stuff out of my subconscious. So one of the things that ended up happening in all of my meditations was I decided to go in and talk to my inner child and hear what it had to say. So I've done like shadow work with my inner child in terms of feeling what does it need, but I never asked it for any specific words. So I went in and it said one single sentence. My inner child said one single sentence, and it completely shocked me. It shocked me because it was basically the exact opposite of what my conscious mind thought. But it was very enlightening here. So this reading is kind of inspired by that experience that I just went through very recently. But again, trigger warning. But anyway, for those of you who are drawn to this reading and you're ready to go to hear what your inner child has to say, today we have 4 groups for you to choose from. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. For group 1 today, we have a clear quartz point. For group 2, we have a rose quartz window stone, like a half palm stone. For group 3, we have a blue calcite egg. And for group 4, we have a beautiful polished, completely clear citrine. So as always, take as much time as you need to decide which group you feel most drawn to. You can pause the video if you need. But when you're ready, please go ahead and click the corresponding timestamp in the description box below this video, and I will see you in just a second in your reading. Hi group 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the clear quartz point today. So today we are getting a message from your inner child. What does your inner child have to say to you? This is a part of your subconscious. We're not only going to get a message from it, but at the end we're going to get some advice, or more specifically, we're going to ask what your inner child needs right now. What maybe, yeah, just anything it might need right now. So if you skip the intro, massive trigger warning here, okay? This is shadow work. We are diving into your subconscious here. That's where your triggers lie. So only watch this reading when you're actually drawn to it, when you feel in a good place to maybe work with some more difficult stuff here. So please, I do, when I say trigger warning, I do mean it very seriously here. But anyway, let's jump into what came in for you, group 1. So for you guys, we have the moon. I am like getting really emotional right now. We have the Queen of Cups, Some of you might actually be suppressing your emotions, actually, because I feel like, yeah, like really, I can't even tell what this emotion is. It's just like I'm feeling really, really emotional, and that's what the moon is, the Queen of Cups. She's very in tune with her emotions as well. We have the Hanged Man. It feels like some sort of mixture between sadness and maybe a little bit of fear, or just fear of feeling some sadness. I'm not sure. So we have the Hanged Man, we have the Bee, and we have Sage, which says purify. But yeah, this is some level of acknowledgement of your emotions. I feel your inner child is wanting. Because yeah, it's just like I feel it like in my chest. So it feels a little bit or like in my heart, it feels a little bit like sadness or something that's like being suppressed, like you're not allowing yourself to feel something. What I feel, like maybe your inner child doesn't have any specific words. To be honest, what I feel like is your inner child wants to throw a tantrum. They want to throw a tantrum. Maybe group 1, you are a very, very controlled person. I'm actually, that makes sense, because I feel kind of Virgo energy. Virgo, Taurus, or maybe an air sign here with the Bee. Cancer. But I feel like maybe you feel like you have to look really strong all of the time or something, and you like suppress any of your negative emotions. You don't let yourself express them even when you're alone, and your inner child like wants to like throw a tantrum and get all of this negative shit out instead of suppressing it inside. Or maybe for some of you it's not like throwing like an actual tantrum, like wanting to have like a little fit of crying or a fit of rage and just like punch a pillow or whatever. Because another what I'm seeing here is like a puppy dog that's tired. Like, have you ever seen like or had a puppy on your own, or seen a puppy, like someone's walking it at the park, but you know, puppies get sleepy really easily. So when they're done walking, they just like lie down, or they just like sit there and they're like, no more. I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving forward anymore. I'm done with this walk. And they just sit or lie down. And then their owner's like pulling on the leash, like, come on, run us home. So I feel like that's kind of how your inner child is feeling. Like it wants to just stop. It's just stopping. Nope, no more. I'm not going anymore. And you're like pulling the leash and like forcing it to go, even though it's like tired or something. So yeah, especially with the Hanged Man here, maybe some of you are feeling like this really kind of stagnant energy. With the Bee here, maybe some of you have a similar problem to me personally, and you might be workaholics. The Bee always makes me think of workaholism. And maybe some of you feel very controlled, like you work a lot to avoid feeling some of these emotions, or you feel like you can't express emotions for whatever reason. Negative emotions anyway. With the Queen of Cups here, it seems like you are willing to express love, be giving, generous, but you're not like allowing yourself to freely express your own feelings. And I feel like, yeah, your inner child wants to throw some sort of tantrum or just like stop, like the little puppy dog just sitting and saying, no more walk. If you're feeling like a lot of stagnant energy, and that could be manifesting as physical lethargy, your body just feels tired all the time, or maybe you're unfocused, or you're not accessing anything creative. You feel totally uninspired. However, like this stagnant energy can be manifesting, I feel like that's because your inner child is saying, no, I don't want to go anymore, not until you acknowledge me, not until you look at me. Not until you feel what I need to feel. And with purify here, yeah, this is just like, it just feels as simple as trapped emotions inside. Like if you, like it feels like maybe throughout your life, you feel like you can't necessarily speak up for yourself. And maybe for some of you who chose, this group, you had a controlling parent, controlling mother in particular. And maybe didn't have a father at all for some of you. Where it was almost like your personality got a little bit suppressed. Like maybe you felt like you weren't able to just be yourself. You just have to work all the time. You're not allowed to express your emotions. You're not allowed to express your creativity. You just have to do this and this and this and this. And you had like some sort of parent that maybe they told you exactly how to dress and how to act, and don't ever feel, don't be different from me, that kind of thing. And I feel like maybe with the B here, some of you just kept doing that to yourself into adulthood. And I feel like really what your inner child wants is just to express those emotions, especially if they're very buried. If they're manifesting as physical exhaustion all the time, adrenal fatigue, maybe foot problems, pain in your feet, other sorts of root chakra symptoms. It's because you need to like let these emotions out with purify here. Spirit, do we have group 1's inner child? What is there anything else group 1's inner child wants to say? But yeah, with the hanged man here, it just feels like it's stuck energy. And maybe, but like the puppy dog analogy I just had, it's like you know you're stuck, but you keep forcing yourself to move forward, but your inner child is just like not going to let you. I feel like the more you tug on that leash, the more your inner child is going to push back until it gets seen, really. It needs to be seen and felt. So we have the World. We have the Magician. And the 3 of Swords. So this is almost like another way this is manifesting is like every time you accomplish something or complete something or try to accomplish something, some of you might not actually be able to bring projects, goals, relationships to completion with the World here. And no matter how much you try to manifest with the Magician here, like it doesn't quite work out. Or the second you accomplish something, you don't get the celebration and recognition with the World here. It feels like heartbreak. Like maybe people try to tear down what you've built or belittle it. Or maybe you just don't quite get there and it's just you can't. It's just like repeatedly painful. Every time you try to do something or succeed, something either stops the celebration or the manifestation of it completely. And I feel like it's because if you are not seeing your inner child, if you're not noticing it, if you're not giving it the acknowledgement for, well, it's just like if your inner child was your child, right? When they accomplished something or like did well in school or something like that, you'd want to celebrate them. You'd want to tell them good job. But I feel like because you're not doing that to your own inner child, it's feeling more and more hurt. Like every time you do something that's worthy of celebration, every time you put in work towards something, you are not actually giving your inner child the acknowledgement. You're not telling it good job. You're not telling your inner child, oh, congratulations for accomplishing that, or you did so much today. I'm so proud of you. I feel like it really needs to hear like that you're proud of it. And maybe for some of you, you didn't actually hear any of that in childhood. You didn't have like the, you know, a parental figure that celebrated you or was proud of you, and so you're just doing that to yourself as an adult. But in order to heal that, you need to start telling yourself, I'm proud of you. I see you. You did a good job. Because if you just keep not acknowledging yourself, not acknowledging your own accomplishments, no matter how small they seem to your subconscious mind, it's just like another sword in your inner child's heart right here. It's almost like, why do I need to keep going? Why do I need to keep putting work in? Like the puppy dog on the leash. I'm just going to sit here. I don't want to keep going, because if I keep going, you're just going to ignore me again. You're just going to put me through all this work and then tell me it's not good enough. And so, yeah, it's like, it's being ignored. You're just like ignoring how it feels. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So sometimes these are just patterns we learn. And it just happens over time. But I feel like there is a lot of bottled up emotions and not a lot of your inner child not feeling seen. And especially not feeling allowed to express its emotions. Your emotions do feel very, very controlled here. Like you either can't celebrate yourself, and you're also not allowed to show like any weakness almost. Like you feel like you can't cry. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to get angry. Even if someone walks all over you, you have to just be strong and never show that they hurt you. Never be angry about it. So, what do I need, Spirit? Which deck? So, the inner child of group 1, please. What do you need? What can group 1 do for you that will help you? We have dance. That's giving you more celebration vibes. Like the World card is very much about celebrating your accomplishments. This has definitely come up in a previous reading before. Like maybe a lot of my subscribers, you are just not celebrating yourselves like you should, but sometimes this does come from these subconscious wounds here. It might be moving your body as well. Because like I was getting, like throwing a tantrum, that's like very physically letting all of your emotions out. Because if you notice kids, they throw tantrums, they throw big fits, and then once the emotion's out, they're fine again, they're smiling again. But if you've been like really controlled and not allowing yourself to throw those tantrums, not allowing those emotions to move through your body for a long period of time, you might just need some sort of expressive way to move your body here. Expressive, emotional way of moving your body here. I think that's why dance is showing up. Spirit, or the inner child of group 1, please. We have weight. So it's just like if you are in a stagnant energy, whether it's, physical tiredness, whether it's like you can't actually find a way to move forward, you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to work really hard towards a goal, but it's just not working out. It's just like you need to embrace this Hanged Man energy, feeling stuck, because it's like your subconscious is doing this to you on purpose to make you acknowledge these emotions, acknowledge how controlled you are. Acknowledge how much you might not be celebrating yourself. It's like you need to embrace being stuck rather than fighting it. Don't tug the leash on that puppy. Let the puppy rest for a minute before you, continue. I hope that analogy is making sense. The inner child of group 1, please. Okay, so we have mind your media. Also, if you are in a stuck period, like just distracting yourself isn't going to help, okay? It's just ways to move your body and let the emotions out. Moving freely, feeling freely. Distractions are only going to help keep you in that stagnant energy. It's not making productive use of of a break period or tiredness, whatever this Hanged Man energy is manifesting for you as. This is like, make the most of it. Use this rest period or this break period to really, it just feels like let your emotions out. There are so many cards about emotions, especially emotions trapped in your body. So, Spirit, one more card for group 1, please. Laugh, dance, and laugh. Yeah, I feel like the message here has been like almost the same from the beginning. It's just stop being so controlled. Like, I feel like if your inner child could say one single sentence to you, it's stop being so controlled. Let me be free. And yeah, that's what it is. Let me be free. Let me out. Let me play. Let me dance. Let me laugh. Don't work me so hard. Don't control me. Let me be free. But anyway, group 1, I'm going to end this right here. I hope this reached the right people. I hope this reached who it was meant to. I hope this resonated with you. But anyway, please like this video and comment below if you're comfortable on whether or not this was helpful for you. Please share this video if you know anyone that might benefit from this type of reading. If you're new here and you like this reading and you like pick a card readings, please hit that subscribe button because I make a lot of pick a cards here. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye. Hi group 2 and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this rose quartz window stone today. So today's reading, we are getting a message from your inner child. So before we get started, I do have a trigger warning. This is a type of shadow work, meaning we are diving into your subconscious, and your subconscious is where all your triggers are. So I just want people to keep that in mind. Don't watch this if you're not in a good place, please. But also, this is a general reading, right? So we're getting kind of the general message for the group as a whole. And I really encourage everyone watching this to actually meditate, go inside, and talk to your inner child. If you want a direct, actual message from your inner child, going inside is the best way to do that. But that being said, I still want to see what we can get from the cards here in today's reading. So let's get started. So for you guys, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Fool. We have the Ace of Cups. That's 2 aces. We have the Eagle, which is the apex air sign in this deck, I think. And then we have Strength with Bearberry. So there's actually a couple things coming through here. So the first message I'm hearing, which I was hearing even while I was trying to tune into your energy before I started this reading, the message I was hearing was give me more, or give me more, something like that. And I think it has something to do with indulgence, because the imagery I'm getting with it, it's like, you know, a child shopping with their mother and they point at like the candy bars and they say like, I want that, can I have that? And you know, mommy says no, you can't have the candy bar. So I feel like it's kind of like that. Like that's kind of what your inner child is trying to say. Like, I want that, but it's being denied. So it's almost like maybe you are denying yourself indulgences of some kind, especially with the Ace of Wands here. Maybe for some of you it's actual candy bar, your candy bar type things. You are denying yourself enjoyable foods. Like maybe some of you have restrictive eating disorders and you are denying yourself the, you know, the pleasures of enjoying your food. But for others of you with the Ace of Wands here, this is like any sensual pleasure. Maybe you're working too much and not taking vacations. Maybe you are you know, denying yourself other physical pleasures like sex or something. And it's like, with the Fool, your inner child might want to play more, might want to indulge more. But it's like maybe your conscious mind is kind of being like the parent at the grocery store that's saying no to the candy bar. Which is reasonable, right? You know, no one wants their child to just eat a bunch of unhealthy things. But it might be your inner child wants to say this because you're being too restrictive or something. You're not allowing yourself to play or indulge. Or with the Ace of Cups here, there might even be some emotional denial or blocking as well. You're not letting yourself feel as much happiness or love as your inner child wants to. Because the Fool here, this is a very carefree spirit. If you even look at, you know, it's almost like he's dancing around playing here, and you're not. This is also giving me images of, you know, like children playing in the sprinklers, just like having fun, enjoying life, enjoying water, swimming, maybe for some of you. So the other message I'm kind of getting from this, especially with the Eagle and Strength here, with the Eagle, it's almost like your inner child is asking for guidance, for help. Like your inner child doesn't like adulting, almost. It's tired of adulting, or maybe you feel kind of uncertain at times and you feel like you just want answers. You almost just want someone to tell you what to do because you feel lost and confused. And like your inner child is wanting, you know, like a parental figure, some guidance there to just kind of say, is this right? Is this the right thing to do? Like almost feeling lost and wanting someone to tell you what to do. But the Eagle is also a reminder that we always have higher guidance, right? And in a minute, I'll pull some cards to obviously get some advice here, like what your inner child wants and needs. But again, I'm getting, there is something about restriction, and your inner child does want to indulge. Like, but I feel like with the Eagle and Strength here, the word I'm hearing is endurance. Maybe a lot of you who chose this group, you're kind of just enduring each day rather than maybe living it to the fullest. Like trying to be strong instead of trying to play. Like I feel like, I don't know, the imagery on this card is making me think that maybe not everyone who chose this group, obviously, but some of you, I feel like maybe you had overprotective mothers that maybe made you rely on parental guidance a bit too much. So once you finally left the nest, that made you feel kind of lost to not just have that guidance there all of the time. And even if you still have very loving, helpful, supportive parents, you know, once you're an adult, they're still not there all the time. And I feel like maybe your inner child feels a little lost and confused. But for others of you who chose this pile, it might be the exact opposite, where you didn't really get that parental guidance at all. And that's why your inner child feels lost and confused, because they never had it, and they're still seeking it, they're still looking for it. And it could be that some of you maybe you like left the nest really early when you weren't necessarily ready for it. And even if your conscious mind knows how to, you know, do all of the adulting stuff, and you're very on top of things, it feels like your inner child is actually still feeling really lost and confused about it and wanting this guidance, higher perspective, someone else's wisdom, someone to tell them what to do. That could even, I just heard, manifest as watching too many tarot readings rather than listening to your own inner guidance. But regardless of, you know, why, like the psychological roots from your early childhood that caused this, I feel like your inner child really just wants to indulge, wants to play more, and is looking for guidance. I do feel like it's kind of lost. Like maybe the two different things I'm talking about are kind of related. Like the child's wanting the candy bar, and maybe it's feeling lost because maybe you're wanting to indulge in these things in your life, but you don't know if it's right. And so maybe you restrict yourself from that because you just don't have anyone to tell you, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I feel happy? Is it okay if I indulge in this? But I'm gonna pull some more cards to see. We're gonna ask your inner child, like, what can you do to help? And spirit as well. Any higher guidance here, because with the eagle here, I really do feel like your inner child is seeking higher guidance of some kind. But what deck, spirit? So the collective inner children of group 2, please. What do their inner children need? How can we help them? We have the Ace of Wands. That is twice. That is the first card. This Ace of Wands, this is your sacral chakra energy. This is your passion. This is your pleasure. It's really as simple as everything I've been saying, is stop denying yourself feeling, life, sensuality, play, enjoyment. Like, life isn't supposed to be endured, it's supposed to be lived, is what I just heard. Okay, we have the Six of Discs, the Six of Pentacles, and on the top cards they say success. Go for it as well. Like, don't hold yourself back from pursuing your dreams. That is like the most generic, typical piece of advice you could give anybody. But it feels like maybe your inner child did have a dream to become, the Six of Discs is about fame, something that could make you really famous or successful or proud of yourself. And maybe that's one of the main things you're denying, is you're denying yourself even taking the first step towards that dream. And that's why you hear that advice so often, is to follow your dreams, even just take one step. It's because so many people actually do stay stuck in this mindset and think they can't, and they hold themselves back, and they deny themselves from doing it from fear, thinking they don't have the capability, thinking they're not good enough. So it might be you need to encourage your inner child, say you are good enough, you are capable of it, and tell your inner child, good job. I filmed group 1 a few days ago, but I feel like it was kind of a similar message there too. Spirit, what is the inner child of group 2? What do they need? But yeah, the Six of Pentacles here is, oh my god, I've been reading this like the Six of Wands. It's the Six of Pentacles. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason for it. But yeah, because the Six of Pentacles is about, you know, giving and receiving as well. So it's just like, give acknowledgement, love, give it your inner child love, acknowledgement, and appreciation. Like, if it's really scary for you to take a step towards your dream or take a step towards indulging something, you need to tell it. Tell your inner child, like, good job, I know how scary that was for you. You, like, just encourage it every step along the way. But the Six of Pentacles here, I have no idea why I've been reading this as the Six of Wands, but this is a Taurus card as well, and Taurus is all about, you know, experiencing those sensual pleasures, indulging, and enjoying the luxury of life, enjoying the things that feel good. But yeah, so I feel like that's mostly what you need, is stop being so restrictive. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles here. Again, it's that generic message of go for your dreams. Don't restrict yourself from any passion, any creativity, any feeling, any indulgence. There's like on this Ace of Wands here, there's like a scarab right here. Like those big beetle things. Those are symbols of abundance. And so is the 10 of Pentacles here. Maybe some of you have actually seen like large black beetles. I don't know why I'm being drawn to that. If you do see them, that's kind of a sign that you're kind of on the right path. Remember, your inner child is seeking guidance, and the universe talks to us in many, many different ways. For me, it speaks to me a lot through animals. I go for a lot of walks, and I randomly just encounter different animals or animal spirits, if you want to use that term, that are kind of symbols and messages to me from the universe. So maybe the universe speaks to you in similar ways, and large black beetles might be a symbol for some of you, especially symbols of wealth. Some of you, your inner child might be feeling lost, and maybe you're feeling a little lost financially, but there is a path to it, because I am seeing something about a path. That's why I keep saying take the first step. But the inner child of group 2, what does the inner child of group 2 need, or what advice do you have for group 2 in helping here? So it says activity. I feel like I'm supposed to shuffle this again. Activity, play, indulgence, allow yourself to move, allow yourself to eat. I really feel like there's at least one person that chose this group that has a restrictive eating disorder. I keep being drawn to things that are reminding me of that, and it's just like, if that's you, like, for serious here, like, food is very, very important, okay? You need to understand that food is energy. Food is life force. And starving yourself is not going to make you feel better, and it's not going to make you feel alive. And that is what your inner child is crying for. I know that's like a specific message for like one person, but it's just like your inner child wants to move and be free, and it wants the energy to do so. Fire. Oh my god. So that is like the Ace of Wands, basically, for a third time. Okay, like, for those of you who aren't super, super into tarot, please go read look up the Ace of Wands, read about it, read about the element of fire. That is what your inner child is craving. Absolutely craving here is that fire energy, that passion, that sensuality. And your sacral chakra as well. I feel like there is a big sacral chakra blockage here. And then it says solitude. So can I get one more card? Take initiative. The fire energy, these wands, is also very much about initiative, taking first steps, taking action. And it's like, as I've been saying, your inner child is kind of scared. It's scared to take a step, scared to take an action, because it wants this guidance. It wants this, parental figure, this mentor to tell them, is this step okay? Is this step okay? And for some of you, you might even be, with solitude here, it's making me think some of you are reaching out, asking other people for advice because you are scared to take this step. And if you're not feeling consciously scared, it's because your inner child is. So you're scared to move forward, because your inner child wants this advice, wants this clarity, wants this reassurance that, they are making the right moves. So a lot of you, I feel like the solitude here, if you are asking other people for advice, or you just you're almost addicted to tarot readings because you want to know is this the right thing? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? That kind of attitude, I feel like it's, you need to stop looking for outside guidance. And I mean, don't just stop doing that, like cold turkey necessarily, because you might be doing that, asking other people for advice or whatever it is you're doing to look for guidance and mentorship. It's because your inner child needs this reassurance. So don't just like stop doing that without reassuring your inner child that they are competent, they are capable, they have the power. This fire energy with these Ace of Wands here it's all about power. You need to reassure your inner child that you do have the power, you do have the strength, you do have the capability. And I feel like that's what's going to heal it the most, is you just reminding your inner child that they can do it. That they can do it, that they can take these steps, that they have the strength, they have the power, they have the intelligence, they have the wisdom. It's all there inside of you. And that's where you're going to find the clearest guidance, is inside of you, not from other people. But anyway, group 2, I'm going to end this right here. I hope this found the people it was meant to. I hope it resonated with those people. If it did, please give this video a like and a comment. I'd really appreciate it. And share this with anyone else who you think might find it helpful. But anyway, I am going to leave you right here. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe or consider doing so. I make a lot of pick cards here on a variety of topics. Feel free to check them out on my channel page. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the blue calcite today. So today's reading, we are getting a message from your inner child. So a couple things before we get started, especially if you skip the intro. This is technically a shadow work reading, so it does come with a big trigger warning. We're diving into a part of your subconscious, and your subconscious is kind of where all your triggers lie. So I just want everyone to be aware of that. Before we get started, please don't watch this if you're kind of in a bad space right now, okay? But anyway, the other thing is, please keep in mind this is a general reading, which is especially important in this type of reading. We are pulling in a collective energy for the group. And I do want to say that the best way to talk to your inner child is to meditate and ask it directly. There's a lot, when you do that, there's a lot of insights just talking to your inner child can bring you, or even just going inside to hug your inner child can bring you. But anyway, that being said, let's get started. And I gotta tell you, while I was tuning into this before I started recording, meditating on your group energy, this is very positive, it feels, because the message I'm hearing is, I'm excited. I feel like that's what your inner child wants to tell you. It wants to say, I'm excited. So that's what I'm feeling right now. It's very bubbly. So you guys have the Empress, which kind of matches. She's a very bubbly, playful, excited kind of energy, very allowing. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Five of Cups. That's so much Cups energy. We have the Elephant, which is like, I think it's like the apex animal of the fire element here. And then we have Garlic with Service. Okay, so I was hearing the message, I'm excited. Your inner child is really, really excited about something. It almost feels like maybe your inner child knows something that you don't. Like, I feel like it's almost like a premonition feeling. Like I feel something really, really good is about to happen, and I'm so excited. Like right before a kid's birthday or before Christmas, when they know they're gonna get a bunch of presents. Like that kind of childlike joy, excitement for like the unexpected to happen. I kind of feel like that's what's coming for you. There's something really, really exciting going to happen. And like your subconscious, especially, it's like your subconscious is aware of this, But with the Four of Cups here, especially, I only meant to pull 3 cards, but this one came out with the Four of Cups, this Five of Cups here. I feel like you are, like, ignoring this excited feeling. I feel like intuitively, a lot of you know that your subconscious is feeling excited about something, but you're, like, ignoring it. You're blocking it out. You're drowning it out even with obsessive thinking and internal talking. I feel like your inner child wants you to kind of quiet your mind, meditate, maybe go out in nature. The Empress is naturally at home in Gaia, in nature. And just do something to quiet your mind. It feels like your inner child, and for this group, I feel like it's more like your subconscious as a whole, not necessarily just your inner child, is really excited about something, but it's like you're not, I feel like it's overthinking. Some of you might be afraid of your emotions and you're overthinking to kind of block them out, but it's like your inner child and your subconscious wants you to know, no, there's a lot of good, positive, happy emotions down here. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement. And for most of you who chose this group, I do feel like it has to do with love. Like there's something really exciting in your love life that's about to happen. But some of you, you might be afraid of getting excited about love. Like maybe some of you, you've had, when you felt really loving, you might have had a lot of major disappointments, a lot of fights, or people yelling at you, or this almost looks like a parent-child thing, and we are looking into your inner child, so maybe some of you dealt with a lot of, you know, parents or parental figures yelling at you or scolding you a lot whenever you felt happy and excited. That's not for everybody here, of course, but I feel like maybe that's why you're kind of ignoring this excitement that your subconscious is feeling. Like maybe some of you got scolded whenever you showed happiness or excitement, either from your parents, and it could likely be from your parents because this is an inner child reading, but maybe past relationships as well, since I feel like this, what your subconscious is excited about, it is love. Like specifically romantic love with the Knight of Cups here. And so some of you might just be afraid from past hurts in romantic love. With service here, maybe you, it feels more like for a lot of you in your past relationships, maybe you found that you were in love with the person more than they were in love with you. And that's an extremely painful experience. I'm hearing a song, I don't know, most of you probably don't know it. It's called Monster by Meg Myers. And that song is all about loving someone more than they love you and how painful that is. But just like for whatever reason you're blocking this out, it's like the reason doesn't matter. It's like your inner child just wants you to quiet your mind, stop blocking out this emotion or the desire for love, because your whole subconscious is like lit up with this bright, happy light, this fire, this excitement. It's really, really excited about something, and you're just like ignoring it. Like maybe you're afraid to get excited, but it's just like the message is stop being afraid to get excited. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some cards to see what it is your subconscious might need here. And I'm asking Spirit what deck to use. Okay, Queen Alice it is. So Spirit and the collective inner children of Group 3, what is it that you need? What would you like Group 3 to know or do to help? We have Judgment. We have the Eight of Cups. Oh my god, this is so funny. It's just like, I feel like yeah, it's your inner child, your subconscious. It knows something that you don't. And it's really excited about it. And just like we have justice. Some of you with judgment and justice here, you might actually be really worried and involved in like maybe some sort of court case or legal proceedings. This is maybe for just one person. Like a divorce, child custody case, child support case that's really got you worried. But I feel like with your subconscious, it does feel like kind of a premonition feeling, like everything's going to work out really, really well for you. Like, don't worry, get excited. Things are going to be okay. And we have the 5 of Cups again. Okay, so this is all these cups here, especially with the Empress, who's very emotional as well. This is all about your emotions. Just like, don't be afraid of your emotions. That's really the message here. Everything's balanced out, everything's okay. With the imagery on the 8 of Cups here, it's just like, I hope you guys can see this card, but Alice has her face to the wall. And like, everything's all rainbow around her, but how can she see that when her face is literally against the wall? She can't see how exciting everything is. It's just like, I feel like your whole subconscious just wants to tell you that, get excited, it's okay. We're really excited for what's about to happen. Okay, so it's just, it's okay to feel happy. Even if there are people around you and you've encountered a pattern of people who almost punish you for being happy, because I feel like maybe some of you have dealt with that. People punish you or act negatively or just act bored when you're excited about something and you just don't have someone to share that with. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, still allow yourself to be excited. You're still like allowed to be human. You're allowed to get excited. And really, like, we're in control of that emotion. We can't really let someone else crush our excitement down unless we let them get to us, if that makes sense. Spirit, what advice do you have for group 3? What can group 3 do to maybe connect to their excitement a little more? Okay, we have solitude. That came up in the previous group. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. I feel like some of you do have people around you that make you feel bad when you're happy. They make you feel bad when you're excited. And, this is an inner child reading, so this might go back to, your childhood, your parental figures. Maybe they just were annoyed when you got happy and excited, and maybe you were loud about it, and, your parents like couldn't handle the noise, but your inner child took that as a rejection of happiness or something like that. But it's just like, no, let your excitement and happiness flow from within, regardless of how people react to it. Because the more you do that, the more you connect to your inner happiness, your inner love, that's what's going to bring in people who are actually going to love to see you happy, love to see you excited, be excited with you even. If you block it out, you can't actually find those people and connect to them. Especially because I do feel like the exciting news for so many of you does have to do with love, romantic love. All right, this deck is like going everywhere. Okay, it says focus on yourself, which makes a lot of sense right next to the solitude card. So that's just reiterating the same point I just made. And then we have indulge. Some of you really might be drawn to group 2 as well. But this is indulge in your emotions, especially your positive emotions. It's weird because I feel like all these groups, they've had kind of a similar message, but they're all a little bit different. And then, okay, so we have solitude, focus on yourself, indulge, and your needs. This is all about not letting other people get you down when you're happy, okay? Allow yourself to be excited, because that is your main message from your inner child. The words I heard were, I'm excited. And I feel like they just want you to get excited too. But I'm going to end this right here, group 3. I hope this message found the people that it was meant to. I hope it resonates with the right people. Whatever is coming in for your life soon, I'm excited for you as well. But anyway, if this resonated, please like, comment, and share this video. If you're new here and you liked this, feel free to subscribe. If you like this and other pick a cards, because I make a lot of pick a cards on this channel on a variety of topics. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi Group 4, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this citrine point today. So today we are getting a message from your inner child. So I do have a few things to say before we get started. Firstly, this is an inner child reading, but remember this is a collective group reading. The best way to talk to your inner child is to meditate, quiet your mind, and go in and talk to it yourself. Ask it what it needs, give it hugs, that kind of thing. And I encourage everyone who was drawn to this reading to do that. The other point I want to make before we get started is that this is technically a shadow work reading, meaning we are diving into your subconscious. And your subconscious is where all of your triggers are. Okay, your triggers are there for a reason, to protect you from big gaping wounds that might be there. So if you do find yourself getting triggered, or if you're not in a good place, or if you're just binge watching tarot readings because you're bored, then this is not the reading for you right now. But if you were highly drawn to this reading, especially highly drawn to this pile, then this reading might be for you. I do want to say a few things extra for you here, Group 4. This trigger warning is especially important for this group. When I was planning this reading, I only wanted to do 3 groups, but I was very, very called to do a 4th group. And as I was preparing your pile, I understand why. There's some heavy stuff here. So the things I bring up in the beginning here, if they do not resonate with you, then this is not your reading. Okay, then this is for a very specific group of people. But anyway, again, only watch this if you were drawn to it. Please don't watch this just because you're bored. All right, we don't need to bring up triggers that are, you know, protecting wounds that aren't meant to be healed at this time. So anyway, Group 4, let's get started. So for you guys, we have the Magician. And okay, like I was meditating to tune into your group here before I hit that start button on the camera, and I'm trying to get a message like in words from your inner child, and quite frankly your inner child is scared. Like it doesn't even want to say anything. Like I was just feeling fear, to be honest with you, and that this is why this particular group comes with such an extra strong trigger warning. So we have the King of Cups, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, we have a Judgment, and we had a lot of extra cards coming out for your group as well. We have the 9 of Cups, we have the Octopus, and we have Candula with Brighten. There's a lot of yellow here, a lot of bright, happy colors. I feel like your dominant vibration, especially the one you came into this world with, is very bright. It's very loving. I feel like you are naturally a ray of sunshine. But unfortunately, when you are naturally a ray of sunshine, it can attract, it attracts everyone, because that sunlight, people notice it, and it can attract not great people as well. So again, if this this first part here doesn't resonate with you, then this is not your pile. But to be honest, when I was preparing this group, I do feel like there was abuse. There was abuse in your childhood that your inner child is still terrified from, okay? And for a lot of you, this was sexual abuse. This was people crossing your boundaries. This was people crossing your physical boundaries, okay? So it might just be not necessarily sexual abuse for some of you. For some of you, this is physical abuse as well, but I do feel like some sort of physical boundaries were crossed here in your early life, and I'm very, very sorry for what you've been through here. But I feel like that is what your inner child wants to talk about. That's what it's afraid of. I don't know if it wants to talk about it, but it's scared. It's scared for some reason. I feel like also for some of you in this group, you were silenced a lot, not allowed to talk about something, like punished if you talked about something. That might be the abuse that happened. I'm sorry, group 4, this is a hard reading here. These emotions are really strong. There's also something about cameras here. Some of you might actually have a fear or phobia of cameras or being watched in some way. So I feel like with the Magician here, I feel like for a lot of you, because you dealt with this in early childhood, you might have found yourself in a pattern of similar cycles of abuse, maybe even abusing yourself in the same way. Because the Magician is about manifestation, so I do feel like that this abuse has maybe repeatedly manifested in your life. In terms of people crossing your boundaries, the Octopus card is very much about boundaries. I feel like with the King of Cups reversed here, there's some emotional dysregulation going on. Maybe you have trouble controlling your emotions, have mood swings, that kind of thing. But what I'm also getting from this is a lot of guilt. Like you have guilt around showing those emotional mood swings or any sort of emotional imbalances. You actually feel guilty or ashamed of it. And it's because your inner child feels guilty or ashamed of speaking or expressing their emotions. So it feels like whenever you express an emotion or maybe stand up for yourself and your boundaries, there's actually this part of you that feels ashamed and almost wants to self-punish. Even if you don't consciously realize you do that, I feel like that happens. But we're going to pull some more cards in a minute here, but I feel like the best thing you can do for your inner child is give it a hug. So the Four of Pentacles here is always a card of hugs to me. Like my spirit guides, whenever the Four of Pentacles shows up, or not whenever, but a lot of times when the Four of Pentacles show up, it's their way of, saying, oh, we're giving you a hug, we're giving you a nice spiritual hug. And I feel like that's actually the reason this is showing up here, especially reversed. Maybe your inner child wants to feel hugged, wants to feel loved, wants to feel reassured, wants to feel safe. And I feel like the best thing you can really do for your inner child is go inside and give it the hug that it's craving. And also maybe speak the words it's wanting to speak. Because like I was saying in the beginning, I feel like a lot of you were silenced as children. And I feel like your inner child is still silenced. And I feel like you don't need to tell anyone else necessarily, but maybe just speak what it needs to speak out loud. Release it. The Judgment card is very much about release. Some of you might actually be afraid of hugs and physical affection. That's not for everybody here, because your boundaries have been crossed and you're afraid of those boundaries being crossed again. But yeah, I feel like if your inner child needs anything, it really, really needs a hug. And like, when I say go inside, I mean meditate, clear your mind. Hopefully most of you are at least a little bit familiar with meditation, but then it's like visualize your inner child inside of you and go inside and actually give it a hug. And I know that might sound silly, but I feel like that's what it needs. And it needs to speak. It needs to not be silenced anymore. And it's not about speaking it to someone else necessarily, although that might be indicated for some of you. But I feel like it just needs to say what was silenced out loud. Like, you need to not silence your inner child yourself. Okay, I have no idea why, but I'm drawn to pull like 2 emoji cards. So these might be messages for somebody. Okay, so that is the like cell phone emoji. And the notification. I don't know. That must be a message for somebody, like something to do with a notification on your phone. Has something to do with what we're talking about here. I have no idea. I have no idea what that means, but I was drawn to do that, so that must be for somebody. And it's just weird that it's a phone and then like the notification bell. But anyway, so Spirit, for group 4 here, what advice and guidance do you have to help group 4 with what their inner child needs, which I do feel is fear? And for a lot of you, it's a fear of being watched. I don't know why that's coming through. Fear of cameras, fear of being seen. Okay, so we have the Tower. There's also this message, don't be ashamed of your emotions, okay? If you do have problems with emotional regulation, mood swings, that kind of thing, your first step to healing this and helping your inner child feeling safe is to not feel ashamed of letting those emotions out. Don't let other people make you feel bad if you cry or speak up or get angry even. The Tower is kind of an angry card. We have the 8 of Swords, yeah. This is trapped pain. I do feel like your inner child does feel trapped. It feels like it can't get out. I almost feel like some of you are afraid to manifest anything in your life. And it's like a subconscious fear. So it might be you find when you try to manifest or create something in your life, there's something inside you that might be sabotaging it because your inner child is really scared to move forward. It's really scared it's going to be hurt or someone's going to, cross its boundaries. And I feel like that's why going inside and maybe giving it some more hugs is going to help it feel more safe. And I hope most of you here are in a safe environment. Like, obviously don't do shadow work, don't do this kind of thing until you are in a safe environment. Because like I was saying, your triggers really are there to protect you. I think in the intro, I filmed that a few days ago, but I have this like guard dog analogy, like this big Rottweiler or German Shepherd, and it barks to keep people away. That's what your triggers are. It's this guard dog protecting you, and this guard dog, he's being a very, very good boy. He's doing his job. He's protecting the wound, okay? And he's there for a reason, right? And so we don't want to move past him. If you're in an unsafe place or you don't have the tools to heal that wound, then it's just not the time to do it. And, let that guard dog do his job until you're ready for healing. And some of you are. I feel like that's why the 9 of Cups came. Because I feel like the Magician and the 9 of Cups, this is you really wanting to break out of this, break out of feeling trapped, break out of feeling afraid. And maybe that's why you were drawn to this reading. I feel like, I don't know, there's something like ready for a new beginning, or you can almost see a new beginning. And maybe a lot of you, like your life is safe now. You're not around anyone who's hurting you anymore, and you are ready to break free from that. So we have the 9 of Wands. And I feel like a lot of you have your guard up, but I feel like it's not necessarily that you're supposed to let your guard down. It's almost like you're supposed to keep your guard up. Spirit, the inner child of group 4, what does it need? Because I just feel like some of you, you're not actually in the place to let your guard down, and I feel like maybe some other people in your life are making you feel bad because you have your guard up, or you have mood swings or something like that. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but it's like you have other people that are trying to make you feel guilty for kind of closing off to them or putting up your boundaries. And it's just like, if you're in that stage, keep them up. This isn't the time to like let that guard down and just like expose all of your wounds. Like if that keeps coming up, then at this time. Hey group 4, so I finished filming your reading before I realized that the camera had shut off because I ran out of storage space on my phone, which I'm realizing that's probably why this phone notification message came through. It was probably for me to check my phone. But anyway, I have to go back to what it was. I'm trying to find a way to reiterate the message for everyone here, because it was one very, very specific message. So it feels like for most of you who are here in this group, it feels like you have people around you that are forcing you or trying to force you or trying to get you to open up or let your guard down, whether this is family members, a lover, or something like that, and you don't feel comfortable, you don't want to talk about some of this stuff, you don't want to open up, you're not ready to heal or something like that. And it feels like someone's trying to, for some of you, it's almost like this person or these people, they're trying to be really sweet about it and act really caring and say, you can open up to me, it's okay, you can talk about this stuff now. But there's a part of you that's feeling really, really uncomfortable and doesn't want to talk about it. And so the message here is don't let these people force you to open up. Don't let these people force you to let your guard down. Talk about things you're uncomfortable with. Don't force them. Don't let them make you show your emotions that you're not ready. You're feeling that discomfort for a reason. And it's about these triggers, this guard up that's protecting this wound, and it's okay to keep it there. That discomfort you're feeling when people try to get you to talk about it or heal or open up to them about it, especially if it's a romantic partner or a family member that probably does have your best interest in mind. It's like maybe they don't mean anything bad by it, but it's just like that discomfort is there because your inner child isn't ready to expose that wound to people who won't understand. And so the message is just don't. Feel comfortable keeping your guard up, keeping your boundaries there, not showing emotions that you don't want to show, not saying things you don't want to talk about to these people, even if they have good intentions. It's just like you're not subconsciously, your inner child is not subconsciously ready to do that, ready to face someone not understanding. So that's why this solitude card came up here, especially with the King of Swords and the solitude card. It was because you need to trust that inner wisdom, that discomfort that's telling you this is not the person to open up to. This is not the person I want to talk to this stuff, talk about this stuff with. This is not the person. So that discomfort, you need to listen to it and not talk to people who aren't going to understand. And it's nothing necessarily against those people, especially the message here is especially if it's like a new lover or something and they want to help you, they want to understand you. Like your inner child doesn't want to open up to them because they won't understand what you've been through. And it's just like keep the boundary up from them. There's no reason to expose that wound to someone who won't understand, at least right now. And it's just like if you're ready, you're feeling ready and you want to heal this wound, you want to let that guard down, what you need to do is find people, find a support group, or find a friend or something. And if you ask God, the people will, the people in the way will open up to you. These are the people you need to open up to and talk to. Like if you need people to talk to, you need to find people that have been through something similar. People who can understand. Because when you have that understanding and support, that's going to make it a lot easier to bring out those wounds and heal. But you need safe people to do it with. Especially a safe place. I hope everyone here is in a safe place. That's the first thing, is making sure you're physically in a safe place. But you need people who are understanding, who have been through a similar problem. If you need to speak about this, first speak it to yourself. Let your inner child speak what it needs to speak to yourself. And then the next step is only opening up to people who will understand, who can empathize with it, not just sympathize. No matter how much those, anyone else who wants you to open up to them, no matter how much they love you, your inner child doesn't want to open up to somebody who isn't going to understand. Because that's going to hurt if you open up and they don't understand. And it's just like, I feel like you're even consciously aware of that for most of you. And that's why you're feeling discomfort if anyone wants you to open up about any like traumas or pain in your past. And that's very, very important here. So I feel like that's a very specific message for somebody. And then the other messages coming through here are, love your dark side and pamper yourself. This is about shame. So I feel like some of you are, your inner child is still dealing with some shame over this abuse or things you might have done because of this abuse. The message here was that God loves unconditionally. God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call the ultimate divine consciousness. Everyone has different words. I'm just going to say God for right now. But God loves you unconditionally. And to be more like God, to be more spiritual, to elevate your vibration and to heal yourself, you need to work on matching that unconditional love that God has for you, right? You're part of God. And to match that unconditional love God has for you, you need to unconditionally love every part of yourself. Everything you've ever been through, everything you've ever done. And it's not like an instant process either. You need to slowly accept yourself, every part of yourself, everything you've done, right? You're part of God and God is part of you. God has experienced everything through your eyes because you are part of the universe. It's all connected. So God knows exactly what you've been through from your perspective. Exactly what you've been through. God understands every single action you've ever taken. God knows everything about you and has complete and total understanding and acceptance for every part of you, everything you've done, just everything. And God loves you no matter what. And it's just like you need to work on, it's less less command-like than how I'm phrasing it right now, but to heal, that's one of the things your inner child really needs anyway, is this unconditional love. And it feels like for some of you that's not easy. Like there's some things you're ashamed of. But it's just, remember that you are loved unconditionally and work on loving yourself unconditionally was the final message here. But anyway, group 4, I think that was the main message. I'm sorry I got so interrupted and I had to redo it. I hope it's still making sense. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you, group 4. The universe loves you. You are loved, and don't let anyone force your guard down when you're not ready, okay? Listen to your discomfort and respect it, and insist that other people respect those boundaries too. But anyway, I hope this reached the people it was meant to reach, and it resonated for those people it was meant for. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you would like. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you, group 4, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!